Last, now everybody go chop breakfast. You know you cannot rebuke this definitely because one way or another you still chop breakfast. But today, this particular one, we are going to focus on the dating aspect of the breakfast. Yeah, because we get served breakfast by our boss, by people outside. But this one is going to be by somebody you like so much, by somebody you regard so much and love so much. So I'm your host, Wisdom Godwin, and we are on the show Now What? Yes, definitely. And we've got wonderful personalities in the house. They're going to give us the light, the shine, and everything possible on this relationship talk and this breakfast expectation. So be right back after this break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, from the short break we just went on. I'm with my guest right now, the handsome guest on this side, the beautiful guest on this side, and we're going to be talking about dating, relationship, and all the likes of it. So, Ma, you introduce yourself to the house.
Hello everyone, my name is Kay Onoyeka. I am a spoken word artist. I am a social change advocate, and I work with Youth Life Foundation as program lead. Yeah, for you.
Okay, so over to you.
Hello everyone, my name is Felix Williams. Many things, like I said in the last episode, right now I'm a banker with Igom Fadama Microfinance Bank.
Okay, I'd actually like to recognize the fact that he's been on the show once before, and he's here again to still service to us hot. So before I get into the questions, straight up, I'm going to be asking you guys about your personal relationships.
Okay.
The highlight. There's always this relationship, there's always the highlight. Someone is telling you, okay, someone is asking you, have you ever been served breakfast? And then there's always this breakfast, this particular relationship you cannot get over. So over to you, Ma.
Okay. Mine is interesting because I'm usually the person that serves the breakfast. So So I think Steve Harvey said one thing. He said, don't let a man tell you twice that he doesn't want you.
Yeah.
So once I sense that, okay, the relationship is going haywire, or I keep complaining about something over time, or I keep begging to be called, or I keep begging to be given attention to, the next thing is that I'll just serve you breakfast so that we so that we move on, so that you know I just don't want to be in that I don't want to keep it going.
So you truly look as if you're forcing things.
Yes, I don't like to be where I'm not wanted.
Yes.
So once somebody is beginning to show me that they don't want me anymore, for whatever reason, and I think I try to ensure that it's amicable. I still somehow talk to some of my exes. Not like long talk, but if they see me, like, hey, hi, I'm like, hi. So it's like amicable. So I'm like, it's clear that you don't want me. It's clear that you have other goals, which is not bad, right?
Yeah.
I don't assume that somebody would have a specific likeness for me over time, because people change, people have new ambitions and all of that. And if they have new ambitions and I'm not in that plan, I think I just tell myself it's time to walk away. So I don't cry or do all I have to do before the person, actually has to come to that level. Yeah.
Okay. So over to you, Felix.
Okay, so what I'll say first is, I think in the 21st century, right, we are really into this idea of breaking up with people, because I think we have so many options now than our parents did. And also so because we have social media now, right? So I go on my Facebook, with only one swipe, I'm seeing over 10 beautiful girls, and I'm in a relationship already. And let's say we're going through a few troubles and quarrels in a relationship. What happens? I think I have options. So if I should go on my Facebook and I'm seeing all these options, I go on my Instagram, I still have options too. On the street, a whole lot of options too. What do you think will happen?
You switch.
I'll switch. I'll definitely go for my option, because there are so many options now. So, but I wouldn't really say it's the virtuous thing to do to easily break up with people, because when I look at my parents, for example, and also look at their peers too, what I realize is that most of them dated for a very long time before they got married. But it's very different in our generation because of the idea of having so many options. So we have too many options, we have too many decisions to make, and when it happens that way, trust me, breakfast is only very normal.
Now we're going to go into this question straight. What do you think constitutes a healthy relationship?
Okay, a healthy relationship is a relationship where there's love. And love for me doesn't mean where there's feeling, attraction. It's beyond that, because when you look at your mother, for instance, and say your mother loves you, the feeling you have is not like a sexual feeling towards her, but a feeling of loyalty, a feeling of trust, you know. So when there is love, like I'll use the Bible. When the Bible's definition of love says kindness, says it doesn't boast, says it doesn't usurp each other. So you see that all of those is a definition, nothing emotional comes in, because it's beyond emotion. Because when all of the emotion goes away, the solid and the foundation of what keeps up the relationship is all of those characteristics. So when all of that is in a relationship, consider your best friend or someone you consider your best friend. You don't have that emotional attraction for the person, that level of attraction, physical attraction for the person, but you know that this person is loyal to you and can die for you. So when you have all of that in a relationship, that relationship is most likely going to be healthy, right? And definitely. A healthy relationship is not a relationship that just has all of that and has all the beautiful emotions and it's just that. It's a relationship that is growing, because when you're healthy, you're growing. So you should grow from, oh, I just knew about this person, to maybe we used to shout when we argue, but now we can sit down and talk. We used to maybe... I used to complain about not calling me maybe at a certain time. Now he calls me or she calls me at this certain time. I used to complain about she asking me for money for everything. Now she has reduced it. So there's growth. You're understanding yourselves better. You're doing better. So a relationship where there's growth. You're moving from we're dating for 1 year to we're planning to get married. Not we've stayed. It's not healthy. So it's not healthy when there's no growth. You should move from one point to a better other. Not we used to like each other, but now, no. It should be, a relationship with this growth.
Okay, ma'am. So, fellas, have you had a crush?
A crush, definitely.
And you have a spec back?
Sure.
What's a spec?
I'm a character member of the Asmen, please, whatever that means. Character member of the Asmen. That's what I'm saying. Okay, for my spec, I think I like short, thick girls. I don't know why. I also like them dark because I'm an African man, so I represent my tribe. Yeah, but beyond the whole physical aspect, right? I think there's a whole lot to do with mental compatibility, because if I'm not attracted to someone in that level, let's say intellectually, then every other thing to me will literally fade away at some point. If I'm attracted to you intellectually, or maybe there's this a plan or something ephemeral I can like about you, then definitely I'm going to stick to that, because it's always going to be there.
Okay.
And because if you're a kind person, I know you're always going to be kind. If you're an honest person, definitely at some point, I wouldn't say maybe stop being honest. I'm very sure that you're always going to be honest all through. Okay.
So now, what are the signs of a toxic relationship?
Okay, so let me speak from experience, right? The last one that happened to me was during my service in 2018. I think we had just started dating before I left for service. So it seemed as though everything was going to work out well. In fact, like in my head, we already got married at some point in my head, so it felt all really figured out. But what happened was, at some point, it's almost as though she turned from someone I knew to someone I didn't at all, because she was not gaslighting me. She was not picking up very little things that didn't even matter in the first place. And someone is going out with different people, and you're like, let's go out. You're like, I don't have time. Like it. So when it comes to toxicity in relationships, one thing you should look out for will be these little changes. I know you might say it's little, but trust me, it's this little thing that usually grows to become very big stuff, right? So someone becomes dishonest, someone stops communicating like they used to. I think you should pay attention to those very little things, because it's a little thing that really matters actually.
So, Ma, I'm going to come back to you, because the definition of dating now is quite complicated, very, very complicated, I must say.
Yeah.
Because most people are like dating, there should be sex in it. You get, and then other people are like dating, no sex yet, and then there's this clash. I feel like there's always this clash between the girl and the guy, and then they're like, this one is like, I don't want sex yet, and the other one is like, we have to consummate the whatever relationship they are in. So for you, do you think that sex should be a primary part of a relationship?
Okay, this is personal opinion, right?
Yeah, personal.
I don't think that sex should be premarital sex now should be the core of a relationship. Like I said, when I was defining say love or relationship, there are things that can survive beyond sex.
Yeah.
Because I believe that sex is something that anybody can get anywhere if you know how to shop for it. But loyalty is something you cannot get anywhere, no matter how much you shop for it. There are people whom their money will finish today, and maybe, for instance, maybe someone likes you just because you're on TV, and they're, oh, we like you, and maybe and maybe after you're no more there,
yeah,
all of them just go away and find the next person who's on TV. There's always going to be a handsome, broad-shouldered guy who can give me amazing sex. There's always going to be another beautiful girl who probably has done lipo and my ass is not as big as hers. I cannot compete with that. So if you put me on that pedestal of sex, I cannot compete with that. There are people who are experts in it.
Definitely.
So if that's the only thing, then I know I'm going to fail. But if you want to compete with my loyalty, if you want to compete with, I say, oh, if I want to die for you, if I love you, I say I want to die for you. Believe me, I will die for you. And you may not find someone who will die for you the way I want to die for you. So I can I can stick and say, this is, if you come for me, if I'm with you, this is what you got. Babe, I'm going to support you. If you want to go to the moon, okay, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you the first plane. You got me, baby, you have me. So I want somebody to be able to trust and build with that, so that when sex comes, you can say, okay, there's sex and there's this other one, and it's, it becomes stronger rather than just sex. And I know that may sound old school, but it's personal opinion, and I feel that, especially when I see young girls, I am in the development sector, so we see a lot of things. I see young girls, I see people pregnant out of wedlock and all of that. I'm like, why are you getting yourself into this? How did you? It's a lot. Sex is a lot, because especially where people go into it unprotected, and you're wondering, how did this person get pregnant? Or maybe someone goes out and you're wondering, okay, is he going to sleep with the next person, or the person he cheated on me with, is it better with me in bed? All of that in your head, or wondering, if we're going to try it out and all of that, is she going to do it as good as my ex? You don't want to have a lot of that in your mind, because it is there. It's a reality. So when you keep that slate clean, the first person you now have sex with, for instance, is the first history. And I tell people, sex can be learned. Nobody came from God. Maybe you were born and you're a sex expert. Everybody learns it. And who's to say which sex position is the best? It's all in the mind. It's what the media tells you.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you have this person you explore with, the person's body with, the first time maybe it's not so good, the next time you keep exploring the same body and you're becoming an expert on one person, instead of becoming an expert on so many people, but you cannot even discover the real person you're with.
Okay, so to get your point straight, because definitely dating at some point, I got this thing about dating that said you can date, break up, date, and date again. So, and in all those dating, imagine you're having sex, dating this person, and then next you had sex. So you're trying to say that you don't really support premarital sex?
Because it's intimate, it's on another level. And before you give somebody that level of intimacy, you have to be sure that this person has your back. It's not the kind of person that walks away with you on you tomorrow and you begin to write men as come on Facebook. It's because there's a level of damage that person has done to you. There's a level, because if someone walks into this place and I'm not dressed, I cover myself. Why? Because that person is not supposed to see this level of closeness. But if I've been with you as a roommate and you're coming, I may not want to cover myself. Why? Because that level of intimacy, we've been together, we've seen each other for a while. So before you give somebody that kind of intimacy, it's called intimacy.
Yeah.
For a reason. Before you open, it's like opening your door to somebody. Before you open your door to somebody, ask the person to come and live in that level of closeness with you and sexual, closeness. Be sure that this person has got your back. And one of the ways to show that is that commitment to say, okay, I want to marry you, I want to take the steps and all of that. So yeah.
Okay. Now, we'll be needing your personal opinion, your honest and personal opinion about sex during dating.
Let me take off my glasses.
Oh, this one's strong, bro. Okay, so what do you have to say on that?
So I agree with some of the things she has said, but not everything actually. Because I think she's coming from the angle of religion, Christianity, so of course it has to do with the Bible. But coming from the aspect of neuroscience and evolutionary biology, it's important to know that the primary stage of attraction, one of the fulfillment of attraction, for most men will be through sex, honestly. And then maybe for women might actually frame sex as an offer for commitment, an offer for honesty, an offer for loyalty.
Yeah.
But for men, one of the ways of showing affection and only being with someone you love is through sex. Christian morality is not the standard for objective morality.
Okay.
So what I'm saying in essence is, I think people should know why they are in a relationship.
Okay.
People should understand what keeps them. Because honestly, if I have a high libido, right, I'm going to definitely look out for someone that has a high libido like me too, right? Because I wouldn't be praying when I'm feeling country like God, take all this country from me. I can't do that, right? I can't do that, right? So,
but if you have what are the chances that you're going to stay with one person? There are chances that if you have that high level of libido and you have to satisfy yourself sexually, you have to.
Sex is a very primary animal instinct, right? For procreation and pleasure and releasing a whole lot of emotions and stuff like that. What I'm saying in a sense is, you can have sex anywhere, right? But in most relationships, I think sex is also a very healthy part of keeping the relationship together.
Okay, so
it takes
okay, so you're trying to say that eventually you get into a relationship with someone. This person, you're really compatible, you like each other a lot, the love is there, but then there's this argument always about sex. So you say that the woman should maybe give in, or
it could be the woman that even actually wants it.
Yes, and let me not stereotype that too. And then any gender at all, any gender at all. So would you say that due to this fact that the person should really follow the lead, or there's a point where you stay back?
Man, I think before you even start dating someone, there are a whole lot of things you should know. Right from when you're friends with someone, you would know if someone is open to having sex or not. You know if she's conservative or he is, very free when it comes to doing stuff like that. So before you even get to that stage where you guys are dating, to avoid unnecessary arguments over we had sex today, okay, we are not going to have sex next month, maybe in the next 3 months, and the whole timetable routine kind of thing. So you need to understand the other person very well and know what you're doing with them and why you're with them. Okay. Because trust me, the whole idea of always having to bring down your own personal morals for the sake of the other person because it's a relationship, I think it doesn't work all the time. So you need to really figure out someone to know why you're with them.
Definitely. Most people stay single after this show. Because I don't want to hear stories of he forced me into it. No, you just have to. If you know that you're not ready, don't just go.
Sure.
General opinion. Don't just go. Okay, so the next question, how safe is hookup? Casual relationships like one night stand, sex buddies. How safe is a fling, sex buddy?
You mean safe sexually or
no,
safe
like the relationship? Because it's like a relationship. Like a fling generally is this type of relationship you get.
Yeah,
into.
I get a fling, but I want to understand your language when you say safe, because if you mean the word safe as in
the both
health-wise, if you use protection,
and
it should be safe.
Health-wise and like for personal goods, because most people they taste that
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm trying to know if it's safe, health-wise, like balance it.
Yeah, I think health wise, I think if you use protection, you should be safe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's what you want. You should be safe if you use protection and all of that. I
Okay.
think it
So
should be
I,
safe.
I think you really fixed on Christianity. So how about the Christian aspect of that?
You're asking about health,
And I'm
and
also
if
going
you
to go
use
to the other
if you use
aspect.
protection, you should be safe. Except you're asking me, is this safe spiritually?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say next.
Okay.
So
Is
Christian
this
wise,
safe?
yeah.
How did you even get there? Because God has said, don't even, don't get yourself involved. God has said sex is beautiful, but would you wait a little bit to have it, right? So how did you even get to just? You don't even just start that really, because Christianity is a spiritual thing,
Yeah.
and the Christian religion believes that the human person is just a soul, a body, there's a spirit. And then when you engage with people, you engage with people beyond the physical. That's why I think when you see somebody dead, it looks like you're seeing the person, but it looks like the person went somewhere. That's because there's more to the physical. So I feel that when you engage with somebody, you're engaging with the mind, you're engaging your body, that's physically, but you're also engaging the unseen and all of that. So
Okay.
I think that it's beyond the physical. All of the baggage the person carries with bodily and all of that, you partake in that, yeah.
Okay, now, Felix, I'm going to come to you with this question. So I was in a congregation of people, and then someone said that relationship, that okay, he'd prefer arranged marriages because that works very well. Looking from our fathers, our mothers, they didn't even know each other. They didn't even know their names before they got married. It was the first time they were in the house, they were like, who are you? That's how it happened. I'm trying to exaggerate. So, how do you feel about arranged marriage? Yeah, in terms of.
It's actually something I've been pondering on the whole dating level, right? Cool. Personally, I'm tired of the whole talking phase. Like, you start talking with someone for 3 months, 1 month, the next thing you stop talking with the person. So, what I realized was that in the last couple of months, I've been liking the whole matchmaking stuff. My friend told me, okay, Felix, go out with this person, and it's really convenient. It's very, very convenient for me. No one has to do the whole talking thing. So we go out on a date, we talk, and if there's a potential for us liking each other, then we continue from there. But taking to that stage of getting married, to someone you don't know at all because it has been arranged for you, I think there are a whole lot of things you should consider because you don't know this person first of all.
Okay.
Then secondly, why it was really prevalent back in those old ages was for the sake of maybe securing properties or maybe extending lineages and stuff like that. So for families to come together, they'll say okay, this woman from this family will have to get married to this man from this other family so that there'll be maybe a bond for settlement or maybe peace or whatsoever. So for now in this particular generation, I wouldn't advise anyone to go into arranged marriages because like the word says, it's arranged, and a whole lot of things that comes with the arranged stuff, right? So there are a whole lot of things you don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know her, you don't know what she likes, you don't know how to please her, like you don't know what she is to you and how maybe she would be fulfilling to the whole marriage union itself.
But do you think it saves divorce?
Well, it depends. I don't really know the literature on that because, it's not like I've heard so many arranged marriages, being cancelled or people getting divorced. Well, what I would say is I don't know the literature for arranged marriages, but like I said before, in this particular century, I think arranged marriage is very archaic and no one should go into arranged marriages.
But okay, I asked that question because there's this trend on social media, and then now people's homes are getting broken. And then someone said that, okay, I thought people said dating was the way out, that if you date someone and get to know this person, you guys are going to stay longer in the relationship. So we should better go back to arranged marriage because that was, even my father is now married, he's still married to my mother, sorry. So there's this mindset of people saying dating has caused lots of divorces in relationships today.
Yeah, I wouldn't say arranged marriages would be the solution to the whole divorce rate happening, right? So what I would say is people are very, very afraid of commitment these days, right? Because like I said before, I look at my mom and my dad And a whole lot of things my mom would tolerate from my dad, and my dad would do the same to my mom, and I'm like, guy, I can't do this thing. And having that mindset now, imagine me going to a relationship and maybe to a marriage also. And with that mindset that, okay, if anything happens, I'm not going to stay around. Like, my foot, one of my legs is literally outside the relationship, knowing fully well that if anything happens, I'm walking.
Okay.
And that's how it is for most of us. And I think it's really linked to the whole idea of having too many options, like I said before, and not also wanting to be committed to, the course in which you choose.
Okay. I'd like to check in with that. I totally agree with him. I was in an interview, and they were saying that women these days, your husband just does a little thing to you and you pack your bags, and that it wasn't so before.
Yeah.
And that I think that the interview was saying that now women are more, they're not patient and all of that. So I said that the reason why you had more people stay in marriages in the past was because they were enduring, not enjoying. Most of them were just good at enduring pain and abuse. But now people are saying, no, we cannot endure it. It wasn't because the marriage was better.
Okay.
It was not. All of my aunties, all of my relatives, I look at their marriages, it's not better. It's just because at that time, maybe women were more, they were used to be more subjected, and they endured through it. I don't think marriages before are better than now,
I really want to point to just one stage, the power struggle stage. Because first off, you get to like someone, definitely. The whole, I like this person, I love this person, I cannot get over you. And then I cannot live without you, all those promises. And then it gets to a point where you start to find flaws in them. How do you undo that? Because definitely there will be a time where love will not exist anymore. That feeling of attraction will not be there anymore. You'll just be seeing the person as bad, literally. Why didn't you call me up? Why did you call me up? Like those switches. So how do you think that can be handled?
Okay, first off, I think it's to approach things logically more than emotionally, right? Okay. So first off, why is this person behaving like this? Is the person depressed? Is there something that has happened? Can this be fixed? Can we communicate about it? Can we talk about it? Can we deal with it? Because challenges are part of life. So to assume that, like I said, to assume that a healthy relationship is a relationship without tussle is wrong, because even with life, everybody has tussle, everybody has challenges. So it's to look at that relationship and say, okay, we're at the point of having challenges. What do we do about it? What is causing the challenge? When you identify the problem, then you can now start working towards solution. But the wrong thing is to do is to run without trying to fix things.
So definitely I'm going to run. You see that some things that that's why that's why okay, I won't blame someone who says that okay, a teenager or someone at the early stage isn't really fit for a relationship, because there's some stress you cannot handle.
Probably maybe because the person has not grown to some level, not physically, mentally, because you have to really understand that there's this about this.
Because psychology would also show that you cannot grow past an age. Physically, you're growing. Mentally, too, you're growing. You cannot tell a 5-year-old child that he could handle the stress of university.
No, definitely no.
So that happens, and you should, when you see that this thing is not for you, wrong. Definitely.
Sure.
So what will you say to the audience about relationships? Should they still be in their relationship if it's getting toxic, and endure, or
Okay, so there is this video I made a while ago. There's this phrase actually, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. But what I said was, what doesn't kill you might actually kill you later. So if you find the relationship toxic in whatsoever loose form you define the word toxic, I think it's in your best interest to save yourself.
Okay.
And it shouldn't just be because, maybe you can't handle the situation or you can't handle the stress that comes to you, but it should most likely be because you can't excel or you can't find fulfillment in that particular relationship. And for you to be fully human, you need to find yourself outside it. And that's why I think you should run at some point so it won't kill you.
Okay. Okay, we've heard what they have to say. So you decide if you chop breakfast or not. Are you going to decide? Now start thinking in your heart. Do you want to get out of that relationship, or you still want to stay in it, or do you want to even get into a relationship? Because it looks beautiful. It looks all rosy.
Yeah.
It looks all rosy, but very, very difficult. Single life matters. So we've come to the end of the show, and then we've heard what they've had to say, their personal take on relationships, dating, sex, and all of that. Thank you. Thank you for making our time to be here. Thank you. And for sharing your personal experiences. I've learned from them. I'm learning now. So we've come to the end of the show, and we'll still go back this one time or the other. But please, don't stay in toxic relationships. Don't endure. Do what makes you happy. Keep yourself first, and also acknowledge others. Treat them as important too. So we've come to the end of the show for today. I'm your host, Wisdom Godwin. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow my Facebook page. And also, follow my Instagram account, Wisdom Godwin. See you same time next week.